Again, just as a reminder, we've got the projects due. Okay, stay up to date with your assignments, including the vocab. Let's start our questions. Number 1, sketch out what a climatogram should look like. 2, what is found labeled on the X and Y axes of these climate graphs? And 3, how does vegetation impact climate? That'll be a topic we cover together today because it is a new one. Angel, did you have any answers for 1 or 2, or anyone in the chat if you wanted to include your answers for? Okay.
The y-axis should be the precipitation, and the x-axis should be the temperature.
Very good guess there. There's actually 2 that are going to be, again, don't forget, guys, we're going to take attendance at the end of class. So there's actually 2 y-axes. So the y-axes will be both temperature and precipitation, right? Oh, and by the way, what two graphs are used? Yep, a bar graph and a line graph, and the bar graph represents what? Temperature or precipitation? Precipitation, line graph represents temperature. By the way, so if you guys look here, quickly sketch this, just have a line graph and a bar graph. The line, again, is temperature. The bars are going to be the precipitation because, again, you may not have, well, a lot of you probably will have your assignment for that quiz, right, for the test questions. And also keep in mind, Angel, what, let's see, what does the x-axis, what is that represented by? What was that again? No, not temperature. It's 2 y-axes, right? Temperature on one side, precipitation the other, right? So what's this x-axis say down there? What is that representing? The months of the year, right? So for 2, the y-axis is going to be temperature and precipitation. The x-axis is going to be the months of the year. So keep in mind, guys, it's like 2 graphs combined into one. The left side, again, it could vary, right? The graphs that we did where the left side was temperature, the right side was precipitation, but you're always going to have 2 graphs, temperature line graph, precipitation bar graph, and the like, right? So again, x-axis is always going to be the months. It is like the average temperature and precipitation for each month, right? Okay. And then Angel, did you want Jolly Rancher? Or are you good? Okay, you're all good. All right. Okay, so I'll keep it up for a moment, and when our in-person students are ready, we'll move on here in a second. Again, please take pictures as we'll go a little fast today. Number 3, let's talk about vegetation. First off, what is vegetation? Any ideas? It's going to be the plants. So what I want you guys to think about for number 3 is how do plants impact climate? So, Angel, do you think plants are going to increase or decrease precipitation? Are plants going to increase rain or decrease rain? Increase, right? Potentially, right? Because they have what flowing through them? Plants have a lot of water inside, right? Inside them. Also, temperature. Do they make things cooler or hotter? Maybe cooler, right? On a hot summer day, how does the grass feel compared to the sidewalk? Cooler, nicer, right? And then also think about carbon dioxide. Are plants going to increase or decrease CO2? Decrease, right? Because they breathe it in. So let's check out specifically how does vegetation impact climate before I give you the rest of number 3. Okay. Again, we are covering climate change briefly. We covered it last semester, but we do have to cover it again because I think you guys will be tested on it. So let's check it out.
What makes our food?
Oh, 1 second. I'm going to play the first 2 minutes of this. This is for number 3, guys.
Pop quiz. What makes our food? Our clothes, our homes. If you said nature, you're right. Nature produces all the things we use every day, from what we eat to the air you just breathed in. And if you said people, you're right too.
We often forget we are part of nature too. Just like savanna grasses in Africa or the giant pandas from China, we are part of this ecosystem. But unlike others, we are at the very top of this food chain, dominate the ecosystem, and affect the others in a profound way.
Our big brains have allowed us to use the planet's resources in unique ways, taking us very far. Yet one of the things that has taken us to the moon and back may be the same thing that keeps us grounded. Carbon. This chemical element is the basis of all known life, and it's everywhere. It's in our clothes, our food, it's in this cute red panda. Carbon is also in the fuels that power our lives, whether it's gasoline for getting around or wood for cooking. But when burned, these fuels release its carbon into the atmosphere as carbon dioxide. Enter the carbon cycle, nature's way of moving carbon around and balancing life on this planet. Quick example, we and other animals exhale carbon dioxide, or CO2. Trees eat that and store the carbon. That's called carbon sequestration. The trees then produce oxygen. We can breathe again. Carbon cycle. Nice.
But our everyday activities impact the Earth's carbon cycle and is threatening the very system we depend on for fresh water, clean air, and healthy food. We are warming our planet, creating unpredictable weather and degrading the environment for all life.
It's a good thing forests exist. Besides taking in carbon dioxide and producing oxygen, trees in the soil they grow in collect rainwater and naturally filter it before we use it. And their roots keep soil in place, preventing erosion, which is especially crucial in mountainous areas. So cutting down trees for things we use every day, like farmland, firewood, and paper, isn't always a good idea. Not only do we add carbon into the atmosphere, deforestation reduces the forest's ecosystem services it can provide to us and the carbon cycle's ability to absorb and balance the excess.
Luckily, there are many things we can do to help our forests. The Nature Conservancy's reforestation project.
Kind of summing up what was said there, right? Obviously, just so you guys know, again, we're going to get this down because we didn't have time to cover it in our notes last week, is vegetation. Again, it is plants. Make sure to write down what's in yellow for number 3. Plants, okay, first off, are going to decrease temperature. They're going to make things cooler, okay? Why? Because they absorb sunlight. So again, just write this. Our only notes for today, guys, only notes for today, okay? Again, why? Because they make the environment cooler by absorbing sunlight. Vegetation is also going to increase precipitation. It's going to increase rainfall. Okay, why? Because plants have water flowing through their roots and their stems, and then that water gets released out of their leaves from the pores, from the process of transpiration. And that's where plants sweat water out of their leaves. In the process of transpiration. And then next, we've got pollen. Okay, actually pollen from plants, again, they use that for reproduction. Pollen is actually going, not only does it make allergies worse, but it also contributes to cloud formation. So the more pollen you have, the more clouds that will form in the sky, okay? And that concludes everything we need to know about vegetation. Looks like a lot, it was supposed to be in our notes, guys, but I needed to include it, the Go Glue, just to kind of help save us some time. All right. Be ready in the chat for our only practice question of today. Got only one question, 2 options here. All right, and we're going to go ahead and move on to our card question. Again, do your best because it could be a question you might see on a quiz. All right, so think about this. What heats up and changes temperature faster, solids or liquids? Solids, right? Solids. So with that in mind, what city is going to have more temperature extremes? That means hotter days and colder nights. Is it going to be Las Vegas, Nevada, letter B, that's surrounded by land, or Los Angeles, California, that's letter A, next to water? See what you guys got. Again, please answer in the chat. Guys, for participation, you must answer in the chat, A or B, A or B. 1 second, Angel. All right. Need some answers in the chat for participation points, guys. Again, Sanaya, thank you. Again, which is going to have more extreme temperature? Heisen's Lakia, thank you. Joseph, thank you. Tatiana, thank you. Daniela. Diego, thank you. Let's do about 10 more seconds, guys, to answer the question. A or B, which is more extreme temperature highs and lows? More extreme temperature highs and lows. Okay, Diego. All right. Shout outs to Diego Perez, Joseph, Lakia, Sanaya, and Angel. The correct answer is going to be letter B. Why? Because Vegas is in the middle of a desert. Deserts are hot during the day, cold at night. Solids heat up faster than liquids. So if you're near water, it's going to be more moderate. Surrounded by land, going to be more extreme. Okay, last thing before we do our other video activity, which I'm going to have you guys do online instead of here, is the table of contents. Okay, 9 through 10 climate change evidence. That'll be your table of contents pages. All right. And when my in-person students are ready, I'm going to go ahead and explain our last activity of the day. Last activity. Angel, go ahead and tear out a sheet of paper. Have a sheet of paper torn out. You'll be all set after the. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and stop recording the video. So I'm still going to play the videos for you guys, but I feel like if I show all these 3 videos back to back, YouTube might end up blocking. When I show too many videos and too much of certain videos, they block the video from being loaded on YouTube like that one time. So I'm going to stop the record, but I'm going to keep the session live going.